Hi guys, it's Lean here, and today on my channel I'm going to do a how I started budgeting video and kind of like a 101 on stuff that I've learned and stuff on that manner. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and let's get started.
Baby, so go.
Sorry, I'm a little mad. I started talking, I was only like a minute in, but the video never started. So, as I was saying, I think the biggest tip is to know your needs or your necessities from your needs to your miscellaneous. And for example, I have my budget planner or my budget notebook, and I also have my planner which has some budgeting in it too. But for my miscellaneous is like the one that doesn't have a lot of money on it. It's just, for me, I work at Publix, so I work in the evening, I guess, like not evening shift. I work I wouldn't say midday shift, because our midday shifters at our Publix is like 11 to like 6, but we have like a evening shift because we the only people who stay late are stalkers, which they just stalk until like midnight. But other than that, we don't have anybody staying overnight unless it's like something to work on. So I just have lunches and going out, so it's like spending money for any lunches. So like lunches meaning like legitimate lunches, which usually I really don't eat breakfast, so my lunch is kind of semi-big, but then my lunch is like really close to the time that I leave for work. So just so I'm eating enough to where I'm not starving at work, but like I have enough time in between where I'm not like eating too much, you know? But going out is kind of just like hanging out with friends, or, you know, unnecessary buys, because we all have those. But my needs are face soap, body soap, and hair soap, and credit card payment, which I don't really use my credit card that often since I just got my credit card. I really, for teenagers, I would say get a credit card that fits you. So like my credit card is usually basically only for gas. Sometimes I'll use it, you know, at a restaurant, but like other than that, like restaurant meaning fast food, sometimes here and there, but it kind of just depends. But usually it's just for gas, because that's what I spend the most money on, just so I can build up my credit a little bit faster. So, and that's another thing, try, like, when I tried to get a credit card, I would say, or it didn't let me in the first like month that I was 18. So wait a month until after you turn 18, and then make that your goal to get a credit card. Now, it took me a couple days to find a good credit card, actually. I ended up having two, which was Discover and Capital One. I chose Discover just because it fit my needs more. But yes, so needs are something that you need, that you think you need, or it's or needs are kind of like wants, honestly, if that makes sense. My face soap, and kind of when you're categorizing that, kind of figure out which ones are more in depth, like which ones you prioritize. which my necessities, it's a little bit longer, but my necessities, well, I wrote down like kind of like the main necessities for like once I move out. So necessities, I do not pay rent or my phone bill or electric, but yeah, so I don't pay those first three things, but I just wrote it there just so I kind of have a mental note to myself, like that's like a necessity, that's something you need, like it, you have to pay it. Gas, question mark, that's kind of a necessity for me nowadays, but you don't really need it, so it would be like a need rather than necessary for life. Cable, again, don't spend. Oh, actually, I do have cable. I do pay for Hulu. Savings and moving fund, I have two separate funds, saving accounts, but I think for people my age, which if you don't know, I am 19 now, if you're trying to move out and like into an apartment of your own at 18, I would say, personally, I'm trying to move out to go to a different state, so I would say something that fits you, but obviously you gotta understand that you don't have a full-time job and you're most likely going to college, so you gotta keep that in mind. But I think the biggest thing is having, I heard 6 months of rent, but because I'm moving, I have a lot of different things, so at least 3 months worth of rent, your first, your last, and your security, and then anything you need as far as apartments go. So yeah, and then I have groceries, which I do pay a little bit of, or I do get my own stuff. If you don't know, I have a fridge like right here. I stock that with fruits, a couple drinks, a little bit of like the tiny waters, and then I'm sitting on my snack bin. It's kind of like I have a picture of it right here if you want to know what it really is, but that's filled with extra drinks that can't fit in the fridge, kind of snacks that don't need to be refrigerated, and other stuff. But yes, so I do pay for some groceries. Now going on to, oh, that's an empty page. Going on to the actual thing itself. So for me, I kind of did 3 separate areas, so you guys really can't see it, but this one was just telling myself if it was necessary or necessity, need, or a sorry, I'm just kind of moving myself, or miscellaneous. So yeah, and then this one was everything that I'm paying for, and then this is, I'm so sorry, this is, sorry, like how much money each one is. So gas, usually my gas is pretty much around $50. This is October, so this is next month. And then I also have November, which is literally the same thing. I have gas, groceries, credit card payment, cable, and cable I already put because I pay for Hulu, so I know the exact price. Beauty, I would say if you're a girl or just men in general too, things like beauty that have direct payments, I mean like money wise, you know exactly how much it's gonna be each time you get it. I would say first put the due date of when it's due, which I did, and I kind of made it to where if it wasn't due this month in October, the money portion wasn't first. So it was like the due date and then the money, but I still had both on it. So obviously I will make a video of it in a minute, or you'll see a better video. But I put hair soap and then the amount and then the due date, just so I know. And then for the body soap, since it's not due until November, I put the due date and then the money. That's just like a personal tip for me, I would say, the most. I think that's what's probably gonna help me. And then the first one I did not really categorize as much as the second one. HelloFresh, stuff like that you pay weekly for, like HelloFresh, I pay weekly for. I put the total amount that it's gonna cost for the month, and then just a mental note because I forget everything. I put on the side in quotations or brackets how much money it is per week. And then like weekly spending, something kind of like that you just know you're gonna kind of like, for me, weekly spending, I think $40 is just enough for me, because usually I only use it for like maybe like tropical smoothie or a Panera once a week, or maybe like sometimes on Thursdays. HelloFresh, we only pay for 3 meals on HelloFresh, so it's like the first 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, are when we normally eat the HelloFresh, and then Thursday I usually am at work at night, so I'll just pay for a meal. So typically I only spend like $40 per week. And then I also have a monthly tuition that is due on the 26th, which I actually need to put the 26th, I thought I did. It's due on the 26th of each month. And then on the bottom I put paycheck, which I think is actually kind of helpful because you'll know each check that you got and the amount, and then obviously you write the total, and then also from like paycheck to like kind of leave space in between, you know, like how much you're spending or like the stuff that you're paying for to your paycheck. So give it a good amount of room so that if you have to add anything, you can add it without having to write it smaller. And then I have yearly, which just tells me how much I'm spending per year or for the year. So yes, I think that's what I'm doing now at the moment. Sorry, I'm a little uncomfortable. That's what I'm doing now. Sorry for my wacky hair, by the way. That's what I'm doing now. I actually just made this yesterday night. So yeah, I think it is, this one is definitely for someone who's like a little bit more into budgeting. What I started doing, which it actually didn't really work for me, was writing it in my planner. But I noticed, I actually noticed a couple days ago that I wasn't really looking in my planner as much. I definitely use my planner a lot more for school at the moment because I'll know what I'm doing as far as schoolwork goes, but like I only really use it for school and kind of to keep up on the day. So like if it's like Wednesday, so like in 2 days it's a laundry day, and then I put the time that I work. But usually like for planner wise, I used to put it on the, good example, the 1st of September, or like the 3rd of September is when I paid for a Function of Beauty, which was the body soap. It didn't really work for me because I never had it on this page, and I really don't look at the planner other than school and kind of just writing down daily or weekly chores. other than that, that really didn't work for me. But if you're definitely a planner gal, I know many different planner gals. If it works for you, it works for you. But definitely something like this that it can just stay open to the page, where I could just write it down once I use it, you know, kind of keeps it a little bit more organized. I think my best tip for you is to definitely find something that works for you. So if you know you're definitely on planner, you're like more towards planners, I would say definitely use a planner. But if you're more towards like actual, like everything's written out like this, use it. There's also many other different ways you could do it. There's no right or wrong way, and always know that. And also know that it's okay if it's hard, and it's okay if you're not always on budget, because there's always other expenses. And I would say, to go on top of budgeting, always make sure you have at least a minimum amount that goes into your savings. So for me, I don't have like a full-time job, although I'm kind of working almost full-time hours. I don't like the money portion. Like sometimes a good example is I think this Thursday I work 3 to 11. Now our Publix closes at 10, so that means I'll just be cleaning from 10 to 11. So once I do my duty and I'm done, so I can clock out. So I don't always get the same pay throughout the day, if that makes sense. So each paycheck is a lot different for me, at least. Sometimes I get $200, other times I get almost $400. So just keep in mind how much you want to put in our savings account. Now I have two, so I kind of have to split a little bit differently, but I just wanted to help you guys out, because I know I struggled a lot with, I think the thing that I struggled the most was remembering to pay. I think that was the thing that I struggled the most with, remembering the dates. So I think this version will help me a lot more than the planner version. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.
Baby, so good.